President Trump over the weekend refused to rule out a recession this year. The S&P 500 fell 2.7%. NASDAQ lost 4%. Bank stocks slid along with shares of smaller companies perceived to be sensitive to the economy. Bonds rallied. That's what
you voted for this, Ben Shapiro. You and your fans voted for this.
The Trump team is trying to reshape the global order in a way that will not be good for the American economy or the global economy.
Yeah, he's been withdrawing the U.S.
This is a widespread perception that is beginning to sort of percolate into the markets. And again, I'm talking to many of the market makers. I'm talking to business people who have literally hundreds of millions of dollars invested in the markets. And they are all very, very wary.
Yeah, this dude openly ran on being unpredictable and on tariffing countries for zero reason. We knew that he didn't know what a tariff was, and you guys still voted for him. All right, what happens when Tesla, the company owned by Elon Musk, writes an unsigned letter to Donald Trump, addressed to Trump saying, "Sir, please stop with the tariffs because if other countries retaliate, they could target Tesla. They could target our country." And this follows a wave of CEOs begging Trump to chill out with the on and off tariffs. Because the thing is, while we're not in a recession, the indicators are showing that Trump's on and off tariff games are really damaging the U.S. economy. If you check the stock market, it's been rapidly falling all week. The Atlanta Federal Reserve said that the GDP is contracting in multiple ways. The economy is not doing as hot as it was when Biden handed it to Trump on a silver platter. Within the course of 2 months, Trump basically flipped his campaign promise of fixing the economy on his head, and his random trade wars with our allies have only hurt. So before we jump into this main article, can I just remind you that CEOs have been changing their tune en masse. So 2 months ago, for example, JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon defended Trump's tariff and said, "Get over it." He said, "Everybody get over it. Who cares?" Quote, "I don't think the average American consumer wakes up and cares about tariffs." Yet on Wednesday, he said, companies actually care. Uncertainty is not a good thing. And that's the entire point here. Trump breeds unpredictability with his on and off tariff policies, and companies have trouble maneuvering in an unpredictable environment. They need to know how many resources to allocate towards this on this day, how much of this to import, how much to pay this employee. And when Trump continues to introduce this uncertainty to the market, of course CEOs do not like it. But let's read this article. Electric vehicle maker Tesla is warning that the Trump administration's trade policies could be detrimental to US-based EV companies, especially because Trump's tariff policy is entirely incoherent. There's a reality where you say, in 6 months, I will place tariffs on this company. Therefore, you better start reshoring manufacturing to American manufacturing plants. And it gives them time to build stuff, to hire people. But Trump's not doing that. He's kind of just playing around, again, on and off tariffs. In an unsigned March 11th letter to the Office of the United States Trade Representative, the company owned by billionaire Elon Musk, who is currently a special advisor to Trump, encouraged the administration to consider how its trade policy could, quote, harm domestic automakers like Tesla. Quote, as a U.S. manufacturer and exporter, Tesla encourages the U.S. Trade Representative to consider the downstream impacts of certain proposed actions taken to address unfair trade practices. In other words, please, Daddy Trump, stop with the tariffs because it is going to hurt Tesla very, very soon. At a time when their stock is already crashing, Elon Musk is already having a terrible week. I mean, remember, as Musk's influence grows in Washington, Tesla's stock is sinking, and it erased $103 billion from his net worth. This article was written a week ago. I haven't done the math for what it would be this week, but I know that the stock has continued to drop. So, I mean, right now, Elon Musk's main weapon isn't even his wealth anymore. It's the attention that he wields via Twitter. When he owns the app Twitter, he's able to spew all of this disinformation and change people's minds with just straight propaganda. That's kind of where his power is coming from. But the Tesla stock fell approximately 28% last month, the company's worst month of decline since a 37% drop in 2022. And let me tell you, the stock has continued to drop. But going back to this main article about Tesla, the company Tesla raises concerns over retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. that would make their vehicles more expensive and could dent overseas demand. President Trump increased tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports to 25% on Wednesday, claiming they help create U.S. factory jobs. Can I just reiterate one more time? Trump's tariff policies are so incoherent. He literally tweeted or truthed the other day that he was going to tariff champagne from France because we could start making it within the US. That's not possible. You can't do that. This dude is an actual idiot and he's running our country. The European Union quickly announced it would retaliate with steps that take effect on April 1st. See, even the EU has more coherence in their policy. They know that they have to give a little bit of a grace period. They're giving companies, 18, 17 days to get their shit together before the retaliatory tariffs take effect. The US previously imposed levies of 25% on Canada and Mexico, which automakers warned could drive up the cost of cars by thousands of dollars. And if you've been watching any conservative shows, I don't know why you guys would be, but I watch Ben Shapiro sometimes just for pure research, just so I can get the conservative MAGA talking points in their purest, rawest form, so that when I go out and I do these debates, I know what they're going to say. Actually, I've heard Ben Shapiro say it in better wording, so I can just debunk it, and I know where they're going to go. Either way, the point is, I've been watching Ben Shapiro lately, and even he does not understand why Trump is tariffing Canada. He's been saying on a show recently, Canada? Really? Either way, the point is, I've been watching Ben Shapiro purely for research lately, obviously, and even he's been saying, the stock market is tanking. Trump, why are you tariffing Canada? It makes no sense. I've seen conservatives try to make sense. They bend over backwards and do mental gymnastics to try to make sense of Trump's irrational, erratic, unpredictable actions that are currently hurting the US economy. But this right here continues and says, President Trump has tapped Musk, the CEO of Tesla, to lead the White House's Department of Government Efficiency, and Doge has abruptly terminated thousands of federal workers, which is also hurting our economy, hurting the unemployment rates. All of this unpredictability is causing the markets to crash. In the letter, which had no person signing it, Tesla, owned by Elon Musk, underscored its commitment to investing in a domestic supply chain, basically begging, saying, please, sir, we will invest domestically, please, sir, including by building battery manufacturing and processing facilities stateside. But the company highlighted the complexity of the automobile supply chain and urged the USTR to consider how companies like Tesla could be, quote, unduly burdened by trade actions. Again, they are scared shitless. And I have heard Elon Musk say before, I've heard him in an interview say that tariffs aren't really good economic policy. He is all for free trade because it benefits his own business. So it's funny that he's advising Trump in one capacity, or rather he's taking the lead with Doge and Trump is just closing his eyes. But when it comes to Trump's economic policy, it seems like Elon doesn't really have that much sway because Trump is so inherently tied, inherently addicted to the idea of tariffing our allies or using tariffs as leverage or whatever the hell he thinks he's doing. So it's just an interesting dynamic because Musk is getting screwed over, or is very likely going to continue getting screwed over by the dude that he is also helping. And again, I just want to end this off by saying CEO after CEO is coming out and saying, dude, Trump, you got to chill. The Target CEO said prices are going to be going up soon. And that was basically a warning. That's when the stock market began to fall. Then even Jamie Dimon, again, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, said a few months ago, get over it. And then he said, I would put it in perspective. If it's a little inflationary, but it's good for national security, so be it. But now he has completely changed his tune and he's kind of begging for more predictable economic policy coming from Trump. Here's the thing. I think most of these CEOs, when Trump was doing his first round of tariffs, were like, whew, that was a close one. I'm glad that it's over with. But now we're on like round 3. At some point, you have to just chill out. And I'll leave it at that. Drop a like, subscribe. I love each and every single one of you. You guys have helped build up this community over the past year. And this next year, 2 years, 5 years, decade will be absolutely amazing as we continue to build with you guys. So have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.